Good morning, beautiful people, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining my channel. It is a glorious Monday morning, and I am getting ready here to do a little bit of yard work. It's my yard is looking a little outgrown with weeds as well as with the grass. We've been lucky to have rain for the last couple days, so so I'm trying to see if I can just clean up the compound a little bit so it kind of looks nice. There's a lot of bushes and things that have been outgrown a little bit that I'm trying to straighten up and clean up. So I am just getting ready here. Just putting my shoes on, my yard work shoes on, and then I'm gonna give you guys a brief tour of the compound, just to show you what I'm talking about. And I have a couple of tools that I've gotten out to do some work. So I have a weed hole here that I'm going to be using to basically get some of the stuff, some of the weeds from my compound. Okay, so I just flipped over the camera here for just a second. As you guys can see, I have weeds all over the compound. You can see this is my little yard here. I have the lawnmower out here. I'm going to be putting gas on it here in just a second, but that's my lawnmower. This is the side of the house. We have weeds all spread all over the compound. This is an old kid's car that has been sitting around, not being used anymore because it's no longer needed. By this corner here, we have a flower pot here with some flowers. We have a little garden here. I believe these are pumpkins, and we have flowers. We had some kales over here, and that's a tomato plant right here that is really growing, especially since we had rain. Whew. Wow, I did not realize that our pumpkin plant has gotten so big, as you can see here. Wow, this is huge. So I told you guys I had been away for a little bit. You can see we got outgrown grass here and weeds. So since we've been getting some rain, I'm gonna definitely be trying to mow. So this telephone post, actually I had replaced it 2 weeks before I had traveled to Kenya. So I wish this was one of those things. I wish that I had actually, if I knew I was going to start a YouTube channel, I would have definitely documented the process. So right here, this section of the fence right here, you can see these joints here, there. So this post here, there was another post that looked exactly like this one right here, and he had rotten on the bottom, and he was kind of loose. As you can see, this fence now is steady when I'm shaking it, so he had gotten loose. So I had tried to find a similar post that looked like it, but this fence was probably put here a long time ago. We've been here for about 5 years now, so I basically had to be creative a little bit. So this post here is a 4x4. And I don't know if you guys can tell here, I actually had to use a little bit of ingenuity to make it look similar to the rest of the fence, because this is just a 4x4 post. I got an 8 feet 4x4 post, and I had to dig the previous post that had rotten. I think it was about a feet in the ground that I dug down and took it out. It was a very tedious work. I took it out, and then I put this post a feet deep in the ground, and I actually had taken out this section of the fence here. So this section here, it's like a partition over from here where I'm showing you guys up to here. So the way the fence is made is that it's screwed here, and this is a joint that holds them together. So you're able to take out the joint, and this whole thing just falls down. And then what I was able to do was to put the post, and then after I replaced the post, I used quick dry cement to hold it in place. I had lined it up with a leveler to make sure that it was even, and then after it had dried up, I put the fence back together. So it took me 2 days. I started on a Friday evening of taking out the post and the fence, and then it had been raining, so I postponed the project. So the morning of, I believe it was the beginning of July, I then dug out the whole post, which took me about 3 hours because it was deep in the ground. And then after that, I set the post with the quick dry cement, and once it had set, I went back and finished that project. But yeah, so this is a small fenced back here that we have here in Virginia. This here is the swing. I have a little temporarily made soccer net for playing soccer here. As you guys can see, we have weeds that have definitely outgrown the compound a little bit, that I'm gonna be weeding. That is my grill. Here we have a kids section. This is what we call a kiddie pool. You just fill water up in there in the summer when it's hot, and the kids play. This is, we call this a sandbox. Basically, this is bought sand. You put sand in there, and the kids just play there. So as you can see, it has all type of kids' toys. Here, we do cover it so that if it rains, we don't have no algae growing in there, no dirt stuff in there. Okay, so this is the other side of the house. Okay. All right. So this is the other side of the house. That is the small compound that we just came from. Flowers here. And all down here up to the mailbox is also compounds. I'll be mowing all the way up here. And also this section of so we have this beautiful tree here that it provides a lot of shade. And actually, let's see, we have this kid's swing here. Now we just hung up on a tree. just was going over the branch. So this tree here is pretty shady, pretty big. So I'm just giving you a little tour of my backyard. This little tree shrub here is also outgrown, so I'm going to be trying to trim that also here in a little, well, maybe later. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, but probably that's the front of my little porch there for the house. And this is the other side of the house over here. So this is the side of the house. We got flowers here. They've gotten big and they're kind of falling over. So I think we might have to definitely cut this and put them in a vase. This is a lavender flower. They grow pretty big. There's an AC unit that usually cools down the house in the summer and also provides heat in the winter. So this is the side of the house. Flowers. So this right here, as you guys can see, has definitely fallen under, so I think I need to trim it here. And that's where I just came from to show you guys. Yeah, so we'll be mowing this side. This is a drainage system. When it rains, the water comes down this way. It's like a river. This is the pumpkin I was showing you guys. This is the other side of the fence, so that's the post that I was talking about right there. So I'm just going over the fence perimeter, and I'm also going to be mowing this section down here as well. Yeah, so it's the 5th of August. It's been dry, but all the few inches of rain we've gotten over the last couple of days definitely is a good sign to mow the grass so that we don't have anything outgrown. You guys can see. So I'm gonna be checking to make sure that the lawnmower has gas. This is a gas lawnmower. So okay, I can add a little bit more. I'm just shaking to make sure all the gas from the funnel As you can see here, even we have weeds everywhere. So this is the lid for the gas can. We have to buy the gas from a gas station. Okay, you have that twist there. So I am gonna put this in the shade because you don't want gasoline to be out in the sun. Okay. So this here is what you use to collect the grass when you're mowing. You can either mow completely to where you're leaving all the grass collections on the ground, or you can collect them here and reduce it. And then you do have a section here you can either completely bag where you're not leaving anything on the ground, or you can completely mulch. So this button here, you can move it to this timing. But for me, I'm actually gonna put it in the middle where you have some that is getting collected in bags and some that is gonna get mulched, because when you do have some collected, it does help the grass to grow. As you can see, it's bright. It's almost getting up to the 80s, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am prepared. I got my headphones for music. I got my water bottle. This is a 64-ounce water bottle. It's filled with ice and water to kind of help me to cool down. So yeah. Okay, so we're getting ready to mow. So stay tuned. Guys, as you can see, this is very, very outgrown. working hard to mow the lawn. So the goal is, when you're mowing, you try to stay within the straight lines so they get evenly mowed, so you don't have any misses. So guys, I was checking to see if the bag was full. As you guys can see over here, this grass is pretty thick because this is the shade. When it's a shade and it rains, you can see the grass over this side is very fertile, and even you can see from the ground. And also it makes the lawn more wet with the wheels, and it kind of slows it down when you're mowing. But you can see the wheels, they're pretty filled with the grass. So I'm trying to start the lawnmower, but struggling to start. So I was checking to see if I have any more gas left, but I also think I need a water break, as you guys can see. So I have mowed the here. I just have maybe one more lane to go, and I'll be finished on that side. As you guys can see, all this side all the way to the bottom, it's all mowed. So typically if I wasn't filming it would take me about an hour and a half to mow, but I'm also gonna mow the inside of the yard here. But first things first, let's hydrate. It's starting to get very hot. Alright guys, as I was saying, we finished mowing inside this yard here. All that over there, all this section here, right there, and we did the front of the house. As you guys can tell, it's really hot. It's not even noon, but you can tell summer's maybe also pretty hot. So yeah, so I just finished here, and we did this section here in front where the tree was. Shade feels pretty good. So all this side, all this section here. So the only thing that I'm going to be doing next is trimming the edges with some places that the lawnmower cannot get to. So yeah, so I'm going to be trimming some edges along. It's outgrown with weeds, but also the grass hasn't really done that well there. The soil there is kind of rocky. They renovated. There used to be a drainage system along where that section of the grass which is flooded with weeds used to be. So it was a drainage system, and they basically renovated, put an underground tunnel for water, and made it really conducive. But the soil that was used to replant or to fill up that space was really rocky, and so the grass in that section hasn't really done that well, guys. As you can see, I am fully drenched in sweat. So I'm gonna get what we call a string trimmer. I have an electric, it's an electric string trimmer that uses a battery that you can charge. It can probably last at least 2 good hours with trimming. Usually when you mow and you have sections that the lawnmower cannot get to, you kind of use a string trimmer, or even along the edges of the fence if there's some outgrown grass that your lawnmower cannot get to. Typically you use a trimmer to trim the edges and make sure that any part that it was uneven that you couldn't get to, you kind of get there. So I am going to try to quickly finish trimming because I know this sun is getting too hot. I don't want to be super in the sun too long because I don't want to get a heat stroke or overly dehydrated. So I'm going to drink lots of fluids. I do have my water container here. It's a 64-ounce water bottle. That is filled with cold water. There's lots of ice in there. That I like cold water, especially when it's this hot, to just cool me down. Actually, I'm just gonna I'm gonna douse myself with some cold water too. Alright, we're gonna go see if we can get the string trimmer ready. I'll trim the edges real quick before this gets too hot. Guys, this is the power battery that was charging. Alright. So just putting final touches for trimming the edges here. I'm just making the string for the trimmer a little longer. So I have a section on the fence here that we have a couple of grasses sticking out that I'm also going to trim. Guys, so it is super hot. We're just sitting in the shade for a little bit. We are just finished trimming the edges, so now we're gonna blow the leaves. I don't know if you guys can see. This is really hard work. Wait a second here. Yeah, so we we're putting the battery on the leaf blower, and we're going to be accomplishing or finishing yard work. I think this is going to be all that I'm able to do today because it's super hot. So yeah, so I'm just wrapping up here in just a few. So here is my leaf blower or grass blower. Because we have people having a lot of things on paper. Alright guys, so our hard work is finished. We have finished mowing the lawn and trimming the edges of the grass. So this has been a hot morning while we're doing this, but we're finished now, so I think I'll be needing a cold shower and then get some food afterwards. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. Help me get to a road to 1,000 subscribers. And for you guys who have been supporting me already, have been subscribed, thank you. All right, I will see you in my next video. Kwaheri. Ciao. Goodbye.